Hello and welcome back for another video on Ark Survival Ascended. It's Ragnarok release day, so of course it's time to check out everything new on the map. So here's 30 new features added to Ragnarok Ascended. Let's get straight into it. Beginning with the most obvious feature, we knew it was coming for months now. That's right, breedable griffins are now a thing in Ark Survival Ascended, meaning we can imprint and raise these beasts into a whole different beast. I'm so excited to have breedable griffins in the game. It's always been a feature that I've been desperate for, as it is my favourite flyer in the entire game. There's nothing worse than your most beloved griffin falling in battle or to the game's glitches and bugs. Well, that is going to be a thing of the past, and we can now have backups for all our favourite griffins. Moving on to another obvious new addition is of course going to be the giant bison. It's lean, it's mean, an absolute wrecking machine. I will be diving into the bison in much more detail in an upcoming video, but I'll quickly mention that the females will produce their own milk. You can milk the females once they give birth, which they will then have a cooldown of 1 hour before you can milk them again, which babies absolutely love, which of course does mean that we have an alternative to using wyvern milk, as baby wyverns will now drink bison milk too. The bison is no doubt going to be another great herbivore for its utility and potentially for its fighting capabilities. So, new islands. Yes, we have a bunch of completely new islands and biomes that have been added to the map. Firstly, beginning with the Scotland expansion, found in the top right of the map, aka the northeast corner. This is a giant new biome that expands out from the original Highlands biome. If the Highlands wasn't pretty enough as it is, well, it's at a whole other level now with this expansion. A great area to find your bisons and all that jazz. And of course, will offer a plethora of new potential base locations too. In the direct center east of the map, right opposite the redwoods, you will find the new island with a giant mountain situated in the middle. You can find the bison and a variety of other creatures spawning here in the open grasslands below, and some more dangerous creatures spawning on the mountain. Adding to this area, I wanted to single out this beautiful piece of architecture. Look at that beauty. A brand new castle compound with a bridge over to the mainland. Pretty cool considering there was nothing in this location before. Directly in the south center of the map, we now have a couple of new Scorched Earth themed islands, offering a great variety of creatures to tame, rich resources, and new base locations. Close by to that island is a second island, which offers roughly the same perks. However, this one has a giant cavern that leads straight out into the ocean, and well, you'll find a nice few Karkanos spawning in the shallow waters here, which of course is a creature that never spawned on Ragnarok in ASE. So this will be a hotspot for taming those beasts. And the final new biome is located in the furthest west of the map. This is known as the Alpines. Neighboring the swamp, it's honestly a beautiful area. These rivers and waterfalls would make for an awesome base spot. Loads of awesome creatures to tame, ranging from deadly carnivores to some big bad herbivores. There's something here for everyone. While in this region, and on the subject of the swamp, it has received a lot of TLC, most notably a castle ruin stationed on top of the cliff in the middle, which was completely bare in ASE by the way. It is clearly evident of the amount of attention to detail that has gone into the Ragnarok remaster, and I'd definitely go as far to say that it is the best looking swamp in the game right now. The Wyvern Cave in the south has been completely reworked, now having a giant entrance to enter, while also being largely extended inside. It was quite dark and narrow in ASE, but it's crazy how much bigger it is in ASA. Plus it also has many more new features added inside, as before in ASE you only found wyverns and eggs in this cave, but you will now find red and yellow loot crates spawning in here. Loot goblins rejoice. I'm not too sure how many crates spawn here at one time, but I've definitely seen 2 so far, so it'll be a nice way to grab some tasty loot relatively easily. Speaking of tasty, or not so tasty shall we say, organic polymer plants from Aberration are plentiful here. These plants can be found in a number of locations across the map, but I'd say the Wyvern Cave is the best spot by a long way. A few spawns for aberrant creature variants have been added to Rag. In this Wyvern Cave you will find a ridiculous amount of aberrant megalanias spawning, and in the Memorial Museum you can find aberrant dodos and also shinehorns. Sadly I don't think there's any plant species Z or aberrant mushrooms on the map, but they do have babies so you can kill the parents and claim your very own shinehorn. You can now snap artifact pedestals to the half pillar. Not really that useful to me, but I'm sure the builders will love this kind of thing, and of course it will be available on whatever map you are playing. Silica pearls now sparkle bright like a diamond. Wow. And so they should. I have no idea how it took the devs this long to implement this, but we will now finally be able to clearly see silica pearls in the water on all maps. Ice wyverns and nests now have new spawn locations. Before you could only find nests in the Murder Snow, but they now also spawn on the peaks of the 2 other snow mountains, while also still having a good amount of nest spawns in the Murder Snow, so it will be much easier to net yourself an ice wyvern egg. Cats will also spawn on Ragnarok, and they seemingly spawn here more commonly than any other map. I found 40 on my dino finder, and a lot of them spawned on the bottom floor of the castle in the swamp on the west side of the map, so you shouldn't have too much trouble in finding a cat to tame on Ragnarok. Not really an exciting one here. You can now find a ton of rare flower bushes throughout the entirety of the frozen dungeon cave. It might even be the best spot on the map for getting yourself a lot of rare flowers, as there is heaps in the Iceworm Queen's arena. This is the new Ice Wyvern boss known as Noon Attack, which can be summoned from any obelisk at Gamma, Beta and Alpha difficulty, requiring all artifacts and a lot of tributes if running the Alpha difficulty. This completely replaces the Dragon and Manticore boss fight and also the arena, so that arena and battle is no longer a thing. I'm sure some will be disappointed, but I'm really excited that we have a new boss exclusive to Ragnarok. So of course it has a brand new arena, surprisingly not as cold as it looks. The boss will summon mini iceworms throughout the fight, which all seem to have 15,000 health each on Alpha difficulty. The boss will have a whopping 1.2 million health on Alpha, so it will be a good challenge. You'll unlock a few tech grams and can grab a loot crate which rewards you with a trophy and 550 elements on Alpha, which I believe is around 100 more than the Alpha Dragon, but I could be wrong as I haven't fought that boss in a long time. So of course after defeating the boss you'll have a new trophy that you can attach to your wall mount, and also the boss flag, which is most definitely my new favorite flag in the game. This is one I'm actually really happy to see. They made Ragnarok with naturally low non-harvestable grass. You can actually see where you're going and you won't have to use the grass size scale command. Boosh! Most Ark Editions creatures will also spawn on Rag. I've seen all but the Archelon spawning, which is a little odd, but you can definitely find the Dinosuchus, the Dinotherium, Ceratosaurus, and unfortunately the most annoying creature in the game, the Savactinus. Oh, the Labyrinth Cave. Get a load of this beautiful new entrance though. A cave I have a love-hate relationship for, with that edging more toward the hate side of things. Well, the good news is, it's been completely reworked. The bad news is, it might be more painful to run than ever before. New and even more challenging puzzles, new challenges to face, including different types of jump puzzles, new creatures spawning within. You'll come across hundreds of baby Iranios. Not sure how I feel about that. The only baby in Ark I could safely say I don't want anywhere near me. There does seem to be an easier direct path through it at least, with plentiful loot crates, but yes, those are Capro infested waters, so this might now be everyone's worst nightmare. The entire cave is filled with booby traps, and where there was only one fire trap in ASE's version, there is now many of them in ASA's version, so I can imagine it's going to be a whale of a time. Speaking of caves, the Carnivorous Caverns has also had a total rework. We go from a pitch black cavern in ASE to a beautiful, well-lit giant cavern, offering much more new exploration value, including plenty of Karkanos spawns within, more of those rare flower and rare mushroom bushes. There is loads. Bring a ferry down here and you'll be farming for days. Along with that, you've also got the aberration polyplants to get your dire bears down here for those. I'm amazed by how good this cave looks. I was hoping we'd see this turn into an aberration-like zone, but I guess it's close enough. It looks absolutely beautiful. I have also seen spiders and arthros spawning up to level 300 in here, so they've definitely upped the difficulty too. The Ragnarok developers did state that a lot of the assets were handmade, which really does make sense when experiencing the finished product. Rag just feels so different in every way when compared to any other map. Its beauty is unmatched. If this is the case, then this will be great for the mod map creators also. I did want to quickly mention that almost every ruin from the original map has been either totally reworked or remastered, making every single one bigger and better. This Mineshaft Island is a perfect example. It looks so much better in ASA. All the ruins are so much more detailed and really do give you a refreshing sense of exploration. Not much of it feels the same, and it feels like you're always exploring something new every time. With all these new areas being added, expect to find many new non-artifact caves to explore. There's at least 5 brand new caves I come across, and I keep finding more the more I explore the map. Detailed weather storms. We now have sandstorms and thunderstorms on the map, which is originally from Scorched Earth. I don't believe the storms were present to this extent in the ASE version. Rainstorms feel a lot more realistic to me. I'm not really sure if that's because the map is so much more detailed and pretty than other maps, but it definitely feels different to me weather-wise. And I don't really like to bring this one up, but yes, paid DLC creatures like the Pyromane and also the 2 new creatures that you get with the Lost Colony pre-order expansion pass, the Vaywin and also the Drakeling, I believe the names are. So those will both spawn throughout Ragnarok, but of course you will have to purchase the pre-order expansion pass to be able to tame them. And that is going to be the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe for more, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care, goodbye.